Welcome back to Money Manager.
Welcome back. New research has found around half of all Australians never discuss their finances with their family and friends. According to Suncorp's national survey, most of us feel more comfortable talking about traditionally controversial topics such as religion or politics rather than their salary, savings and spending behaviour. So why is money such a taboo topic? What are we hiding and why should we be more open? For more, I'm pleased to welcome psychologist Cliff Morgan, who joins me live from Brisbane. Cliff, how are you doing?
Gemma. Good, thank you.
So this is so interesting. I mean, half of all Australians not comfortable talking about this stuff. That's an accurate stat?
Yeah, well, that's what the new research from Suncorp has found. And on top of half of the people surveyed not being comfortable talking about money, there's 14% that still consider it taboo. They consider that money is a topic that should not be spoken about at all.
That's quite astonishing. I mean, it's absolutely critical to most people's welfare and well-being to some extent. Can you talk us through what are the advantages of talking about money? So if someone feels that it's taboo or they're just uncomfortable with it, what are the reasons you'd give them to start wanting to move in this direction in the first place?
Number of benefits, and you know, they can relate around kind of your awareness around money and also your financial. The more you talk about it, the more you're aware about it, the more you learn about it, the more you can do that. And it's also really interesting in the family sort of context where this happens a lot as well. We know that families who speak openly about their money are more likely to be better off. They're more likely to kind of see the wealth as a collective resource, and therefore they're going to make better decisions about it based on, you know, the long-term benefit to the family rather than the short-term benefit to the individual. And as a, you know, families can leverage the collective wealth that they have pooled together.
I think so. I have two small children, and as a parent, it becomes such a critical issue. My daughter is 2, and she knows how to tap to pay for things, and already I'm going, oh God, I need her to understand that paying for things does require some effort, right? It's not just a matter of tapping and everything just magically falls into the shopping cart. Are there tools and techniques that you suggest parents start using with children?
Yeah, certainly, and I can relate. I have a 3.5-year-old daughter, and we're starting to have that conversation about money at the moment. You know, what we would say, we would suggest 3 things, and the first is to share stories. So most families have stories that revolve around people in the family that have made financial successes, and those that have made some financially poor decisions, and they include some great lessons that we can talk to our kids about in terms of, you know, financial decision making. The second thing would be to express express yourself around money. So how does talking about money actually make you feel? And what we find is that if we are able to actually express that, then it takes the emotional impact of the conversation away, and so talking about finances becomes much easier. And the final thing would be start small and focus on growth. Don't try and resolve all your financial difficulties in one conversation, but, you know, pick one area and start talking about that. So it might be reducing spending in one area, or it might be increasing saving. And over time, the more conversations that you have, then the greater financial literacy that the family collectively is going to have, and the better position that the family is going to be in.
Do you have any suggestions around when's the best time to start? Is 2 too little?
Look, as soon as they can understand what money is. As I said, I've got a 3.5-year-old daughter, and we're starting that journey at the moment. So she got her first piggy bank this week, and she was very excited to be able to start putting some money aside and saving, which is, you know, obviously a crucial basic skill when it comes to financial literacy.
Do you think it's more challenging now when money is less tangible? So cash in a piggy bank is fabulous because you can see it and feel it. But if it's tapping and online transactions that kids are perhaps less aware of, do you think that makes it more difficult?
Yeah, potentially. It's definitely one of those things, you know, cash and coins, and it is, as you say, something tangible. So when it goes into the piggy bank, we can actually see it, where we kind of get this understanding. Whereas when everything's on a card, you know, whether we're tapping for $5 or we're tapping for $500, you know, we don't actually see that. So yes, it can be a bit more difficult to have those conversations. It just means that we really need to be a bit more intentional about having those conversations and creating an environment, particularly in the family home, where we can actually have open and frank discussions about finances.
Cliff, thank you so much. Really important insights.
Thank you, Gemma.
Change of pace now, and APRA and ASIC